The next moments are going to tell us everything.
Armada has no shield. Armada has weapon! Absolutely tearing through everyone today, Toph.
Ever since competitive games started to make $sign blips on radars, developers have been trying to make that next hot fighting game, one that was perfectly balanced, devoid of flukes, and backed by a creator committed to rewarding the best of the best. In 2001, the next big fighting game announced itself, and it wasn't anything like that. Super Smash Bros. Melee is the GameCube sequel to an N64 staple. Its designer, Masahiro Sakurai, is also known for the creation of Kirby, so it shouldn't come as a surprise when I tell you that Smash Bros. Was developed with one thing in mind: innocent fun.
And we're about to play Super Smash Bros.
It was supposed to be the ultimate sandbox romper in which we picked our favorite familiar Nintendo character, were dropped in a familiar Nintendo world, and kicked the familiar Nintendo crap out of friends.
Oh no.
But following its release, Smash seemed to be taken a bit more seriously than its creator intended. It wasn't supposed to be dissected or played with money on the line. It should, as he put, really focus on what the target audience is. And this was a party game for casual fun at heart. Yes, the main intent was to be the last man standing, but it was by way of purposefully unbalanced weapons, unpredictable level motion, and pure chance at times. Could you imagine if $300 was on the line, and it all came down to which Pokemon you were about to throw out? But sorry, Sakurai, we live in a world that hosts a rock, paper, scissors league, and we made hugging competitive. So while Nintendo didn't share the philosophy of measuring skill for reward, there existed thousands of Smash lovers who did. Does this look like the face of a tryhard? Its players found something deeper within it. A fighting game with boundless freedom. In traditional 2D fighting games, everything was laid out up front. You had your perimeter barriers, your set combos, and the first one to drain the other's health bar completely wins. Not to say these games were simple by any means, just more defined with clear inputs packaged together. Smash flipped it all upside down. Multiple platforms, the threat of a bottomless pit, no health bars, but an accumulating damage percent system telling you how likely you were of getting smashed off screen.
Platform and Phantom or something. Okay, I'm done. It's over. I'm done. I'm dropping a mic. Peace out, everybody. Oh God! Respect! Oh God! Respect, everybody. I can't believe what I'm now seeing.
Combos that were more the player reacting to their opponent flying around the stage and improvising hits like a jazz drummer hopped up on Fun Dip.
What? That was the sickest thing you've ever done. That was the greatest combo you've ever done.
And it was a combo.
It was a combo.
And the layers of physics that were as crucial to survive as attacking and dodging. We now had a fighting game where you could lose without ever getting hit and win without ever landing a combo, all because you know how to guard the edge and watch your opponent fall to their grisly deaths. And of course, we now had a game that outed that weaselly friend who would suck you up as Kirby and walk off the edge and claim it's fair because it's included in the game. Alright, we did it too. Once the internet began to mature, for lack of a better word, in the mid-2000s, these players began to connect with one another. Here was a game they loved training to be the best at, but it wasn't legitimate enough to have official tournaments, so they packed their controllers and TVs and organized the tournaments themselves. Think about it like an underground band that you and your closest friends loved and desperately wanted to see, but they weren't hip enough to play at actual venues. Instead of playing EVO, which is like the esports equivalent of Woodstock, they were playing in crammed small-town bookstores, which was like the esports equivalent of a crammed small-town bookstore. But that didn't stop them from traveling, from competing with other players from all over the world, from slapping names on the board of who the #1 Smash player was. It eventually came to a point where their noise couldn't be ignored, and in 2004, MLG sponsored the game. and then dropped it 3 years later. But that was alright, because in 2007, Smash Bros. Melee found its way onto the EVO lineup, and the world saw the largest SSB tournament. It was like the music equivalent to Lynyrd Skynyrd. Okay, alright, never mind, we'll drop it. Now from here, the dynamics within the fighting game community became a bit turbulent. You had traditionalists who played games like Street Fighter who were playing on arcade cabinets that even predated the GameCube. I know that may shock some of the younger viewers, mixed in with the Smash crowd who were perceived as younger, rowdier, a bit more off the cuff. When they got excited, you knew it. When they got angry, you knew it loudly.
Happy feet, wombo combo. That ain't Falco. That ain't Falco.
Above all, though, the two types of games just weren't similar enough to where the communities could cross-pollinate, which is a common phrase people use, but to us, the imagery is too weird. The consensus of the best players was formed, and in a game in which you can adopt a battling style as particular and unique as your personality, fans started latching onto these 5 elites, the 5 gods of Smash Brothers, based on the style they identified with. Armada, Mango, Mewtwo King, Hungrybox, and PP.
That is it! Mewtwo King wins! That's it! He won! Look at him! Believe!
He actually can't believe it!
He can't believe it! He said I won! Mewtwo King! Oh my god! This is the best pop-up I've ever seen.
The best pop-up!
That's the best pop-up! He doesn't even believe it!
It's better than the no pop-up.
Yeah!
Am I supposed to pop up?
Mewtwo King!
The borderline idol worship was one of the reasons Smash was painted as the black sheep in the FGC, a subgenre, a deviation of traditional rock and roll, and there formed some resentment between the two. On top of that, the Smashers were still left on read by Sakurai for any kind of competitive support. Sakurai still held fast to the notion that while there's no incorrect way to play Smash, it's a bit disheartening to see his game stripped down to its bare essentials, its items eliminated, and many of its stages banned, just to reach an equal competitive ground for prize money.
I could have made almost $3,000 more if I had won this set. Because I wanted the fair side B reverse spike him to be cool. This is what I do to try to be cool. I give up my livelihood.
It was the people who refused to let this grassroots scene die out. It was the people who in 2013 poured donations to breast cancer to vote for the game to be featured in EVO 2013. They could have picked up any other legitimized game to compete for some cash. Why would they hang on to a game from almost 2 decades ago? The same could be asked about some of the Smash gods themselves. Why choose a clearly underpowered character in a fighting game? Well, and the simple answer to that is, because when you identify with something so profoundly, it's worth going against the grain to do what you love.
I just won my first fucking Super Major since EVO 2016. Let's fucking go!
Esports. I hate it.
I'm happy for you, but now we gotta nuke the VODs because you said the F word twice.
I'm gonna say this straight up. Listen, we're not supposed to be this friendly old esports community. We came here from the gutter ourselves. We can say whatever the damn hell we want. We had no help. A certain company that acknowledges us but refuses to push us. I hope you're listening right now because I want you to hear this. I want you to hear the amount of people who support this league, the amount of people who want this to be a lifestyle for people. This is not just a video game. This is a lifestyle, all right?